Welcome back, y'all.
Hi.
I think we're up to like episode 25 at this point. Like I
don't even
count.
care.
I've lost count, but I'll probably have a better idea what episode number we're on once I start putting them in the podcast feed, which is something I'm working on. So don't worry. If you prefer to listen to this show in the audio only format, that is soon coming, so you can download it right to your phone.
Hi. Nobody wants to listen to just our voices. Have to get all smooth and mellow to entice the ears.
And I'm getting all up in your ear now.
Why was it vibrating when you did that? No.
I just can't help it.
Vibrato, a
Just the
little
way it
vibrato
comes
going.
out. So, I've been reading this book, and maybe a little bit well-known book. You might have heard of it. It's called Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. Yeah, it is a monster of a book, but I've been working my way through it, and it's been pretty good so far. I'm probably about a third of the way through, and it's very interesting to see the way this storyline in this book parallels what's going on in today's society. But that's not what we're here for. What I'm here for today is there was a particular quote.
Unframe Mind book reviews coming soon. Book club?
No, I don't know about all that. I don't read enough for that.
Twilight.
Anyway, so yeah, there's a particular conversation that took place between somebody who works for the private market and somebody that works for the public market. And in this particular case, it was somebody named Dagny Taggart who works for the railroad. And the other guy, his name is Dr. Stadler, who works for the Science Institute, which is a public institution. And he had just put out a statement to the public that was a complete lie. Everybody knew it, who was up in the upper echelons of society and whatnot. But here is this particular conversation kind of stuck with me. Dagny Taggart says to Dr. Stadler, she says, "That statement was issued in your name." "Well, I had nothing to do with it." "Well, the name of this institute is your responsibility." "Well, that's a perfectly unwarranted assumption. People think that the honor of your name is in the guarantee behind any action of this institute." "Well, I can't help what people think, if they think at all." "Well, they accepted your statement. It was a lie." "How can one deal in truth when one deals with the public?" "I don't understand you," she said very quietly. "Questions of truth do not enter into social issues. No principles have ever had any effect on society." "Well, what then directs men's actions?" He shrugged. "The expediency of the moment." Yeah, I finished reading that. I had to put the book down for a little bit and
Hurt your brain a little bit?
Ponder on that one. Let me just after reading that, what's your initial reaction to that? First of all,
you want to get really deep into this?
Deep as you would like. You know me. You know you and I like to go deep sometimes.
I'm gonna keep that excerpt of that explicitive to myself right there. Okay. The way I saw that was that people in the higher ranks of society don't necessarily care with telling you the truth, because they care about more what's convenient and what you're more likely to accept instantly than what you're more likely to question. So if he would have given a truthful statement, not so many people would have been on board with it, that he, in the general public. And even more so, not so many people would have been, I guess, dug into what he was going to say either. Because people only care about convenience and what's the easiest form to go forth.
Well, what it made me think of is scenarios like you always hear about anytime a major disaster happens, the government wants to run in and take advantage of that, take advantage of the expediency of the moment and take advantage of the fact that everybody is now on high alert and their tensions are high, emotions are high, and this is the time when we move in and we push forward any kind of legislation that we were going to try to push before. Whether it's actually going to help anybody or not, we can use the expediency of the moment right now and say, and appeal to your emotions and appeal to your anxiety about what's going on, and get what we want. And that's how our freedoms keep getting taken away, little by little, little by
I
little.
mean, that comes down to not completely what I said, but convenience.
Mm-hmm.
That action or event or that opportunity presented itself for us to be like, hey, look, this happened. Perfect time. I've had this on the desk for 3 months. Push this bill through.
Yeah. That's I couldn't help but just think about how little, when you're dealing with the public, so to speak, how little one might think of the little guy or just the average Joe about how much he can handle. Well, he can't handle the truth. He doesn't need to know. We'll just tell him as much as it seems plausible. We'll put out this statement and just whatever, who cares?
And that works both ways, because the majority of the general public doesn't want to think too much into that either. They're just worried about their own little bubble. That's why a lot of times when we see tragic events happen, they're like, oh, that's sad, I feel for them, prayers, and then 5 minutes later they're going about their day. But if that event would have happened a lot closer to home, within their city or hometown or anything like that, they would be much more affected by it.
Yeah, that'd been their whole world.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sort of like, without going into conspiracy theorist realm, like Sandy Hook. A lot of conspiracy theorists are, oh, that didn't really happen, it was all a false flag, regardless of what you think. If that event would have happened at your child's elementary school, you would be just like them. You would be shitting yourself, basically. You would be you would be the person who's trying to shut down the conspiracy theorists, because it was right then and there. And
then if they came to you and said, hey, this just happened, now we're going to put in all this security measures and all these extra things, and we're going to make your kids have to all do the same thing and wear the same clothes, and they can't wear backpacks no more, and they can't do that, and they put all these restrictions on everybody because of the actions of one person, because it's in the moment now and it's on everybody's mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares about what the truth is, whether those security measures will actually do anything, or whether they'll actually work, or whether they'll actually help. Let's take advantage of this particular moment and push our agenda on you.
Well, I mean, it's not just that high into the politics. I think a lot of the rules and regulations that come with events such as that happening are also emotionally charged with the people who are making them and wanting to institute these things, not just the general public.
Yeah.
So I think it works on both ends of that spectrum. Now, and of course, once you get higher up and maybe you're in Congress or, the ruling elite, whatever, they might not be emotionally charged. They're just like, well, that's going to make me some extra money. Let's do this.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of quotes in that book that that stand out to me.
Are
like
amazing.
That. I might cover a few more if this seems to be something we can do. But the whole the whole book is generally about the battle between the public versus private sectors, and trying to gain a foothold on reality, if you will. But it's a very good book so far. I've been rather pleased with it, and so what do you think? When I read that and presented to you that particular discussion that happened there, what did you think of it? Is that something that that resonates with you, or what have you? Just leave a comment in the section below, and we'll get
Go ahead and leave that section in the comments.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, do that. So so check us out. Subscribe, like, share. The biggest compliment you can give us right now is to share our videos. That helps tremendously, especially when we're just getting started. We're trying to, we're packing this little tiny snowball right now, trying to roll it down the hill. Once it gets going, it'll be a lot easier, I'm sure, to get more eyes and ears on the show. But right now, we really depend on you guys to help like, share, subscribe, and help us come up in the rankings so more people can get this important message.
And make fun of us. The Lord knows in the comments we're going to make fun of you too.
Exactly. That's what we want.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.